Yo, welcome to the first ever C++ tutorial series for the absolute beginners. I'm not going to go in depth on every specific thing. I'm just going to make it as simplified as I possibly can and get you started and just have you coding in a more of a beginner term, and then you can get into some more complex stuff by doing some examples. I can give you a website on that in the future. We may do an intermediate tutorial course as well, and then an advanced, and then a master. But whatever the case may be, this is for you all that has never known how to code and wants to get started. And they're going to be some tools you're going to need. If you're on Windows 10, I recommend the first thing is going to Visual Studio 2022 download. Go to your first little link up here and click the Community 2022. Now there is a catch, but it's not like I'm going to use up a free trial then I got to pay for it. No, all you need to do once this little time frame is up is make a Microsoft account. Once you do, you just create an email and a password, and what happens is it'll automatically register inside the IDE with that account that you created for that specific application, which is Community 2022 of Visual Studio, and you're good to go. It's got most of all the features you're ever going to need to make mods, games, tools, SDKs, libraries, DLLs, hell, you name it. It's got every fucking thing you're going to need. The professional is only for if you're going to be working in a related field, like a work field or something for a big company. You might need that, which they may provide that free for you. I have no idea. But just click here. It'll download. You'll get a setup file down here. And what I want you to do from there is I want you to go to Visual Studio, which you'll find it. That setup file will give you this right here. I've already got it installed, but I want to show you what you need to get started just for C++. So I'm going to hit modify. You won't have that until you have everything installed. You're going to start with your workloads. So I know this is intimidating, but just follow me and you'll be able to download all that you need. The first thing you're going to need is .NET development. So for anything from applications, from .NET frameworks, if you build your C++ library under .NET frameworks, you're going to be able to do that. I recommend installing that. It's already got this pre-checked for you basically, so there's really no need to check it yourself. Well, actually it may not, because I have these checked because I have them installed. But anyway, you need that, this one. And if you want to do C++ with mobile, you can click that. It's not important if you have to. Everything else is pretty much the same because we're just doing a C++ stuff. We're not building any games. If you wanted to build some professional or indie games, you could click this for using the full power of DirectX, or if you're doing it with the Unity engine, you can choose that as well. Doesn't really matter. This requires you to have a remote device connected on both systems, both kernels, Windows and Linux together, to start push forwarding your code changes back and forth, which that's not necessary for you right now. Individual components you can choose, but I recommend getting the latest frameworks if you can. That's where most people's going to be using anyway. It's probably got them installed. So it's 4.72 or 4.8, and 4.8 would be your latest. Anything in between that frame, you can install these other, but like I said, it's going to use more of your system drive, your memory and whatnot. I grabbed the .NET SDK. That's important for developing tools. You need that. Anything from the cloud you don't need. Code tools, click once, publishing, you don't need that. Uncheck it. Of course, if you remove the components, you can, but I have it installed. That means if you've already got it installed, but right now you surely don't. You need the updates. If they're already checked for you manually, that's fine. Everything else is pretty much .NET profiling tools to get some CPU usage, some memory usage. You need that. If it's not checked, go ahead and check that box. Your core features, check that box if it's not already. You don't need F# unless you're going to be doing some code and web projects and stuff. IntelliJ code is an AI assisted development. Please check this. If you don't, it'll save you a lot of time, believe me. Other than that, everything should be manually on top of that. Grab a Windows 10 SDK. I'd recommend also grabbing the Windows 11 SDK. Go ahead and do that, and after the video's over, we'll go ahead and install Windows 11 SDK to start building stuff on for Windows 11 stuff. But other than that, you're pretty much good to go on a lot of that. Also, get a Windows Universal C runtime, which will help you be able to compile C type applications. Like if you got any type of like .c code, you can use this to be able to compile more easily for other stuff like that. Other than that, that's really about all you really need. You can choose different languages, so if you're not English and you're French or you're German or whatever, just click your English and you're pretty much good to go, and it'll show up as that language for you when you load up. Other than that, just go ahead and choose install while downloading. Now it's faster because once it downloads, it installs at the same time. So once it downloads everything, then it'll install it, and then as it's downloading more stuff, it'll go through that installing, then it'll just keep doing it over and over, and it'll get it quicker done. So go ahead and do that and make sure everything's exited out. Any kind of streams, stuff like that, just get rid of it and you're good to go. And then once it's done, just hit the launch up here at the top. So just go ahead and hit launch and you should be good to go. And once you get into it, we'll go ahead and launch up, and you can choose different type of projects. It'll probably give you a first startup. It's simplified. Just go ahead and start everything up, choose your little theme layout and whatnot, and then just create a new project. And once we create a new project, we'll be choosing this. Go ahead and hit next. We'll go ahead and get a project set up as well. We're going to name this, we're going to start with hello, well, damn it. Well, anyway, hello OC. I meant PC. And there's a project, so we're good to go. So the next episode, we'll be learning about how to just print something to the console, how to get the console going, get it loaded up, how to not make it close, automatically keep it up with, as long as we give it some input, then it will close. We'll go through stuff like that, and then we'll just go down the list of the basics that you are only going to be really relatively using. So anyway, that's the first episode, how you get everything going and installed, and see you in the next episode. Peace.